Well, I love baseball. I'm a huge fan. I love going to baseball games. But Major League Baseball and I have something that I just really struggle with, and I can't embrace Major League Baseball. The regular season is way, way too long. Now, I want to make an interesting comparison and maybe offer a possibility of how baseball could change. You know, the world is kind of shut down right now. Everybody's on quarantine. People are trying to avoid getting sick. And as a result of the quarantine, there have been a ton of unintended consequences all over the world. Many companies are realizing that their corporate offices are pretty meaningless. You know, a lot of my friends have been working from home for the last couple of weeks, and they're getting a lot of stuff done. Their jobs continue, and they're fine. And if they need to collaborate, they can call someone on the phone, and they don't need to go walk to the cubicle next to them. They can literally call the person and go, hey, I need you to send me blah, 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 and they do. So as a result of the quarantine and what's going on throughout the world, a lot of things are going to change everywhere. Now, one of the big changes is that maybe a temporary change. You know, similar to all my friends working from home, Major League Baseball should be going on in about a week. Major League Baseball was supposed to start on March 29th this year. That's not going to happen. Normally, Major League Baseball starts in one of the last couple days of March or one of the first couple days of April. You know, baseball will start in April or the end of March and then go all the way until October when the World Series is. Now, currently, people are in talks. Maybe the Major League Baseball season will be able to start mid-May. I think, honestly, what's going to happen is baseball is going to be postponed until June. June is about, I think by June, my guess is, and what I've been hearing is that that's when everything's going to be back to somewhat of a normal state, at least in America. But what that's going to mean is that we're going to get a shorter Major League Baseball season. It makes me so happy. Baseball's played outdoors. You can't play baseball beyond October. October's when baseball has to end because it'll be too cold and too rainy to have baseball games every single day. Because baseball is a sport, unlike football, which can get rained out, and unlike basketball, they play outdoors. This makes all of me I'm just so happy about this. I'm so thrilled that we might have a shorter Major League Baseball season. I love the sport of baseball. It's fun. It's intense. It's very engaging. Like literally, I mean, baseball when it matters is such a great sport. When you have bottom of the ninth, 2 outs, a guy on second base, and every pitch could either be the game, a hit that ends the game and the guy grounds out or hits a fly ball and he's out, or if the batter hits a base hit and the guy from second can score. I mean, it's so intense. Baseball has moments of tension that other sports don't even have because of the nature of any moment a run can get. It's just really, really like, it's fast and it's intense. It's not fast is not the right word there. It's just, it can be very tense. It's kind of like a slow thriller movie where you're like, any moment now, this could be the moment where something really big happens. And you have to watch very carefully on the edge of your seat in baseball. And some sports don't have it the same way. So I think a shorter Major League Baseball season would be really, really good for baseball because what it would do is force games to be more meaningful. Here's what's going to happen likely. Say we cut off, there's no games in April, there's no games in May. In June, Major League Baseball continues. And they just play the rest of the year. Normally, baseball is 162 games each team during the regular season. That's such a long season. That's almost twice as much. An NBA season is 82 games. Major League Baseball would be 164 games would literally be twice as much as the NBA. They're 2 games short of being twice as long as the NBA season. That's unbelievably long. It's too much for me. I can't follow that many baseball games. It wears me out. I think a shorter Major League Baseball season could be really good for the sport of baseball. It could create a sense of urgency. They're going to play, 100 games this year? That would make it more meaningful. Every game would have more meaning. You have fewer home games. If you want to go watch a game, a lot of people I know at least, try to go to one baseball game a year. And if every baseball fan feels that way, they're going to have fewer opportunities this year to go to their one game a year, meaning average attendance for games is going to be actually higher because all those people will have a short amount of time to get to that one game they go to a year. You have fewer dates to do that. I think having a smaller number of games, having a more concentrated amount of games makes baseball better and more meaningful. I like that side of baseball. I really believe that's what's going to happen. I have wanted a shorter baseball season for like 7 years. When I was a kid, I realized like this is just a long slogging season. I can't follow it. It's just too much. Well, in 2020, if we get a baseball season at all, we're going to get the season I've always wanted, which is a shorter baseball season. Now, maybe, it's very, very unlikely, but just maybe, baseball will end up having a long-term change because of this. I don't know that that's really going to happen, but companies around America have begun realizing, oh, our corporate offices are no longer useful. Everyone's working from home, and it's totally fine. And maybe baseball will realize, we had a shorter season this year, and revenue was close. I mean, we had high attendance. People watched games. It actually mattered. There was more excitement. Maybe. It's unlikely. Again, I think Major League Baseball doesn't want to change. I don't think they're going to change. But there's a small possibility here that as a result of having a shorter Major League Baseball season, people in baseball realize, oh, we can do this. It's actually more fun. It's more interesting when there's more urgency, when there's fewer games, and each game matters a little bit more. It's actually better for the sport. I don't know if it's going to happen. I doubt it, but it is possible. What I'm going to do in 2020, if baseball happens, I'm going to support it. I'm going to say, I love this. This is a product I like. I like it shorter. I want it this way. I'm going to preach that to the heavens. Say, look, I like a shorter baseball season. Makes me happy. I love the sport of baseball. I just don't like having 162 games. That's way too many. But 100 games? 90 games? 80 games? Oh, man. That works. It's still a lot of games, but it's a lot better and it's a lot more meaningful if you have fewer games a year. I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to go make a point to go to a game this year if baseball happens. And I'm going to support the shorter season because as a fan, that's the product I want. I will support it if they have a shorter year. And if they have a longer year, in 2 years from now, I'm probably going to fade back away and say, talk to me in October. Because normally what I do with baseball is when the playoffs start or right around just like a couple weeks before the playoffs, I finally pay attention. Because I'm not watching a baseball game in mid-May, mid-June on a Tuesday. When you have 4 more games that week, I don't care. But around game 150 out of 162 is when I start to pay attention in baseball. But if they shorten the year, I'll pay attention a lot sooner because all those games are going to matter a lot more. That's my pitch. I hope that's what happens. I don't think Major League Baseball is going to have a long-term change because of having one shorter season. But man, do I really hope that's what happens. In case you don't know, Strong Opinion Sports is not just a YouTube channel. It is also a full audio podcast. You can find it on Spotify, on iTunes, on Google Play, pretty much everywhere you find podcasts. And if you like podcasts, please do me a huge favor and give it a listen.